your host, the FF Inferno. I am on Twitter, FF_Inferno. On Twitter. Again, FF_Inferno. This is our podcast for the month of July, I guess. And I guess we've been going about once a month. We did a podcast last month in June. Just kind of been a dead time for me in fantasy football. Have not done a lot of drafts since then even. Not a lot of live drafts at least. I am involved in a bunch of slow drafts. MFL 10 is still going on in a few or 3 or 4 of those MFL 10s. Still doing some online satellites slow drafts in the FFPC and Scout Fantasy. And also doing a slow draft also on my fantasy league, same place where you do MFL 10s. Scott Fishbowl. Yeah, SFB 480 this year. Actually, yeah, it's a slow draft, so it's one of those slow drafts that I've been slow drafting for about a week and a half or so now. Actually, I'm not in the actual SFB 480. If you don't know what the SFB 480 is, it's an industry-wide league of a bunch of fantasy football experts. Experts and analysts, pretty much analysts, from all over the internet, all the sites such as the DLF, Scout Fantasy, FFPC. Let me look at the site here really quick. 4for4, one of my favorites. RotoViz, Roto Experts, even the guys from the bigger networks, CBS Sports and Yahoo, are on there. So it's a big industry-wide event full of analysts and fans. It's a pretty funky league. It's a Superflex league. I've been drafting a couple of those as well on the online satellites in the FFPC and Scout Fantasy. But it's the SFB 480 is a Superflex league where you can have a Superflex, which means you can have a quarterback in your flex position, in that super flex position, plus 3 other flex spots. So there's 4 flexes total, where 1 is the super flex. Still kind of a standard positional draft: 1 quarterback, 2 running backs, 3 wide receivers, and 1 tight end. No kicker or defense, but you do have those 4 flex spots where you can flex. 1 is the super flex, where you can start a quarterback. So it's kind of a funky scoring though. Passing's kind of standard, 4 points per passing touchdown, 1 point per 25 yards passing, 1 point per 2-point conversions. And this is where it gets funky here for the rushing. Rushing, you get 6-point TDs, 1 point for 10 yards for rushing, 2 points for 2 points conversions. And here's the kicker. Point, it's late at night here. I'm kind of hurrying through this podcast, so it won't be very long. It's late at night. Here with my 3 dogs. They're pretty much sleeping right now. It's late on a Friday night. Actually recording this on an old iPad on the Spreaker app. Thanks to Spreaker again for the opportunity for making this podcast. Okay, sorry for going off on a tangent there, but yeah, Scott Fishbowl, SFB 480, rushing 0.25 points per rushing attempt. So I'll go over why that's important later. Receiving, 6 points per touchdown, 1 point for 10 yards receiving, 2 points for 2-point conversions. And in this league, it's only 0.5 point per reception, which is only half-point PPR. But it's a tight end premium. Tight ends get an extra 0.5, extra half point per reception. So they get a full point for every reception, which again, I'll go over why it's important later when I go through my team. There's also points for returns, kick returns and punt returns. Basically, only for the touchdowns though. So you get 6 points for the touchdowns, and that's pretty much it. Again, we're discussing Scott Fish Bowl 2016, otherwise known as SFB 480. I actually won a division last year in the SFB 360, so I went pretty far. The unfortunate thing is I did not actually make it into the actual tournament this year, SFB 480. But that's okay. That's all right. I did make it into one of the satellites, Satellite 7, SFB 480, Satellite 7. Actually posted my draft so far through 16 rounds on Twitter tonight. So if you want to check that out, go to Twitter again. I am at FF_Inferno on Twitter. I just posted it. I'm not too sure if I like it or not so far. So I'm going to go ahead and take a look. Let's go through the first round of this draft really quick, and then I'll just go over my team and my strategy. So the scoring system. It's got a .25 per rushing attempt for running backs. So you would think that running backs would go pretty fast. It's also, again, Superflex League, where you can Superflex a quarterback in, so maybe a quarterback will go fast. Whereas, hey, somebody is barking, yay. They're not sleepy at all. Alright, well, no, they are sleepy. They're sleeping. They just got distracted, started barking. Anyways, again, sorry for going off on a tangent again. The doggies are here, Charger, Raven, and Packer, named after NFL teams. SSB 480, back to the draft for my Satellite League, Satellite 7 for SFB 480. I actually started out like every single draft that I've been in so far this year. Antonio Brown, Odell Beckham, Julio Jones, first three. Just like every single draft I've drafted in so far this year. AB, Odell, and Julio. Number 4, somebody went running back, Le'Veon Bell. And pick 5, first round, Cam Newton. So somebody did go pretty early for Cam. Pick 5, first round. Pick 6, Todd Gurley. Pick 7 was me. I was picking out of the 7-hole this time. I actually went running back, David Johnson. 8th pick is Ezekiel Elliott. 9th pick, AJ Green. 10th pick, Adrian Peterson. Pick 11, Lamar Miller. And pick 12, DeAndre Hopkins. So you see, this is pretty much the typical first round in all these SFB 480 drafts. It's heavy running back, and you'll see Cam in there somewhere after the big 3, AB, Odell, and Julio Jones. So that is the first round. You have some running backs and Cam. I'll go ahead and go through the second round while I have it handy, just to give you guys a taste of what's going on here. Second round, pick 1 was Rob Gronkowski. Second, another running back, Jamal Charles. Third, in the second round, Des Bryant. 4, Russell Wilson in the second round. Devonta Freeman, pick 5. I had pick 6, and I also went quarterback. I went Aaron Rodgers. Pick 7, Keenan Allen. Pick 8, Andrew Luck. Pick 9, Allen Robinson. Pick 10, it's late night, Friday night. Waiting for my wife to get home from work. She's a nurse, and I'm kind of tired. Anyways, again, pick 9, Allen Robinson. Pick 10, Mike Evans. Pick 11, Amari Cooper. And pick 12, Mark Ingram. So this round, heavy quarterback. and pretty much a lot of receivers as well. So now you have an idea of the first 2 rounds of an SFB 480. Let's go over my team. My strategy, I like balance, just like Fox News. I like fair and balanced fantasy football drafts. Let's see here. Let's just go over my team. Why not? Let's see. So at quarterback, I do have Aaron Rodgers. My QB2 is Blake Bortles. And my QB3, Joe Flacco. I like those 3. Yeah. My running backs, David Johnson, Matt Jones, Theo Riddick, Shane Vereen, and Darren Sproles. I should remind you guys this draft is a slow draft. It's not over yet. This is only the first 16 rounds. So, yeah. Again, try to go QB early, running back heavy. And I'm kind of punting my wide receivers. I did end up getting DT, Demaryius Thomas, for my wide receiver 1, and then Julian Edelman for my wide receiver 2. Again, I'm still trying to build up my wide receiver core. I have Deshaun Jackson, Rashard Matthews, and Mike Wallace so far. Tight ends, there is that tight end premium, an extra 0.5 points, so they get a full point PPR as opposed to the wide receivers who only get half a point per reception. Confusing myself right now. It is late again. I'll stop saying that now. But my tight ends, Kobe Fleener, Dwayne Allen, and Jordan Cameron as my tight end 3. So I like that. I kind of reach for Kobe Fleener in the 5th round, but I don't care. I think he's going to be the Jimmy Graham of a few years ago on that New Orleans Saints team. So I did kind of reach for him in the 5th round, and kind of proud of that. Yeah, so Kobe Fleener, Dwayne Allen, and Jordan Cameron for my tight end core. So that's my team so far, SFB 480, and that's, again, my strategy. That's pretty much everybody's strategy. Go for the quarterback early, heavy running back, and do the best you can for your wide receivers and tight ends. Just kind of goes, you just kind of, take what falls to you at that point. But that's about it. I wanted to talk about the SFB 480. Everybody's in it. Everybody on Twitter's on it. I didn't make it in, but I did make it into a satellite. Oh well. There's some great prizes here too. There's like free, subscriptions to all these sites, 4for4, DLF. Not sure what kind of prize we get for the satellite, but I don't care. I'm just, happy to be in it. Scott Fish, the commissioner for this whole thing is a great guy. I'm listening to his podcast as well. He's been on every podcast I've listened to this week because of the SFB 480. Just appreciate everything he does for the community. Also donated to the his charity, Fantasy Cares, where they give money to Toys for Tots. So I went ahead and did that as well. But that is all I have for you today. Yeah. I don't know when the next podcast will be. Maybe next month? Maybe? I don't know. So, again, this is the Fantasy Football Inferno, FF Inferno. Look for me on Twitter, FF_Inferno. So, I'm your host, Mark Salinas, signing off with my dogs, Charger, Raven, and Packer. I'll see you later. Bye.